I haven't been able to sleep in total darkness since the Sapphire Dream, and I never will again. My name is Marcus Chen. I'm 22, and I was working my first contract as a room steward on the Sapphire Dream cruise ship. I'd taken the job to save money for college after taking a gap year, and the pay was actually pretty good for someone with no experience. My mom thought I was crazy for wanting to spend 6 months at sea, but I loved the ocean and figured it would be an adventure. The first week was exactly what I expected. Long hours, sore feet, and the constant smell of cleaning chemicals mixed with salt air. I worked the night shift on Deck 9, cleaning cabins while passengers slept or partied in the ship's clubs and casinos. My shift started at 11 p.m. and ended at 7 a.m. The halls were usually quiet by midnight, just the low hum of the ship's engines and the occasional drunk couple stumbling back to their room. I'd push my cleaning cart from door to door, replacing towels, emptying trash, making sure everything was perfect for when guests woke up. I actually liked the night shift. The ocean looked beautiful through the hall windows, all black water and stars. And my supervisor, Rita, pretty much left me alone as long as I finished my section. It was my 8th night when I first noticed the door. Cabin 9247. Right at the end of my section, last door on the left. I'd cleaned it every night that week. A couple in their 50s. Always left their shoes outside, never caused problems. But that night, their "Do Not Disturb" sign was hanging on the handle. That was fine. Happened all the time. Except I could have sworn they'd checked out that morning. I'd seen their luggage in the hallway around 10 a.m. when I came to restock my cart. I checked my tablet. According to the system, the room was occupied. Probably just a mistake in the computer, I figured. I moved on. But when I walked past 9247 again around 3 a.m., pushing my cart back to storage, I stopped. The door was open, just a crack, maybe 2 inches. And the room beyond was completely dark. I should have kept walking. But something made me stop and look closer. No light came from inside. Not even the small safety lights we kept on in every cabin. And there was a smell. Not bad exactly, just strange. Like cold metal and something else I couldn't name. "Hello?" I called out softly. Nothing. The door didn't move. The crack stayed the same size, like it was waiting. I pulled the door shut firmly and kept going. My heart was beating faster than it should have been. The next night, cabin 9247 had guests again. A family with 2 kids. I saw them in the hallway, the children laughing and eating ice cream. I felt stupid for being scared. Of course, the room was being used. This was a cruise ship. Rooms got turned over. But 3 nights later, I was cleaning 9235 when I heard it. A sound from down the hall. Like something heavy being dragged across carpet. I stepped into the hallway. Nothing. Just the long, empty corridor, the patterned carpet, the rows of identical doors. But the sound came again. Definitely from the direction of 9247. Then I saw the cart. Another steward's cart, parked outside 9247. But I was the only person assigned to this section at night. I walked toward it slowly. The cart was fully stocked with fresh towels and cleaning supplies. When I got closer, I saw a name tag clipped to the side. David K. I'd never met a David on the crew, and I knew everyone on the night staff. There were only 12 of us. "Hello?" I called again. The door to 9247 was open again. That same 2-inch crack, that same darkness inside. And now I could hear something, a wet, rhythmic sound, like breathing but wrong. too slow, too deep. I grabbed my radio. "Rita, you there?" Static, then her voice, crackling. "What's up, Marcus? There's someone in 9247, another steward, someone named David?" Long pause, too long. "Marcus, there's no David on our team, and you're alone on Deck 9 tonight. Are you feeling okay?" My hand was shaking when I clipped the radio back to my belt. I stared at that open door, at the cart that shouldn't exist. Then I saw it. On the cart's bottom shelf, a room key card and a phone. The phone screen was on, showing a text conversation. I picked it up before I could think about it. The messages were from someone named Mom. The last text was from 2 days ago. "Can't wait to see you when you get back. Love you, David." Below that, a response never sent, just typed out in the message box. "Tell them Deck 9, please help me, please." My blood went cold. The phone slipped from my hand and clattered onto the cart. That's when I heard the breathing stop. Whatever was in room 9247 had heard me. The door opened wider. Not fast. Slowly, smoothly, like someone was pulling it from inside. The darkness beyond wasn't normal. It was thick, almost solid looking, like I was staring into a space where light just didn't exist. And then I saw the hand. It came out of that darkness reaching for the door frame. The fingers were too long, too white. They didn't look real, more like a mannequin's hand, but they moved with horrible purpose. I ran. I didn't think, didn't try to be brave. I just ran, leaving my cart, leaving everything. My shoes pounded on the carpet, and my breath came in gasps. I could hear something behind me. Not footsteps exactly, but movement. That dragging sound again, but faster now. I slammed through the door to the stairwell and took the stairs 3 at a time, going down. I had to find people, lights, anywhere but that empty hallway. When I burst into Deck 7, there were passengers everywhere. Music was playing. People were laughing. Normal. Everything was normal. I looked back at the stairwell door. Nothing followed me through. Stage 6. Aftermath. Fright's escape. I found Rita in the crew quarters. When I told her what happened, her face went hard. "You went into 9247? "No, I just saw..." "Marcus, that room doesn't exist." She pulled out a deck map and showed me. Deck 9 only went up to cabin 9246. There was no 9247, just a wall where I'd been seeing that door for 2 weeks. But I saw... "You're tired. Night shifts mess with people. Take tomorrow off." I did go back the next day, though, during daylight, with 2 other crew members. We walked to the end of Deck 9. She was right. The hallway ended at 9246. Just a wall with a painting of a lighthouse. No door. No 9247. But I found something they didn't see. Under the edge of the carpet, right where that door should have been, a room key card. Worn and old. When I checked the number later, it said 9247. And there was something else. In my cart, which I'd abandoned in the hallway, I found a towel I'd never put there. It was folded neatly, and it was damp. Not wet like it had been used. Damp like it had been sitting in a closed, dark space for a very long time. I finished my contract, but I never worked nights on Deck 9 again. Rita transferred me to Deck 4 without asking questions. I still have that key card. Sometimes late at night, I'll hear my phone buzz with a text. When I check it, there's nothing there. But for just a second, I swear I can see words forming. Deck 9, please help me, please. I looked up David K. after the cruise, found a crew member memorial page online. David Kim, 24, room steward. Disappeared during a cruise 3 years ago, last seen on Deck 9. They never found him. The thing I can't explain, the thing that keeps me awake. If the room doesn't exist, where did he go? And what was breathing in that darkness? Some nights I still smell it, that cold metal smell. And I know something found David in room 9257. I just hope it stays there.
Merry Christmas from the cruise!
It is absolutely beautiful out here. We're having the best time.
We've celebrated Christmas Day 17 times now, and I'm starting to forget what my daughter's real face looks like. My name is Michael Warren, I'm 35, and I'd saved for 2 years to take my family on a Christmas cruise. My wife, Sarah, my daughter, Lily, who just turned 8, and my son, Jake, who's 12. After my father passed away in March, I wanted to do something special to help us all heal. A Christmas cruise on the holiday spirit seemed perfect. Snow at home, but sunshine and pools for the kids. Christmas morning on the ship was magical. We woke up in our cabin to find stockings hung on our door, a surprise from the cruise staff. Lily's face lit up when she saw them. The ship was covered in decorations, gold tinsel, red bows, a massive Christmas tree in the main lobby that must have been 20 feet tall. We had breakfast at the buffet, pancakes shaped like snowmen, hot chocolate with candy canes. Jake complained it was too crowded, but he was smiling. Sarah held my hand across the table. "This was a good idea," she whispered. At noon, we watched the ship leave port. All the passengers crowded on deck 10, waving at the people on the dock. The ship's horn blew 3 times. Lily covered her ears and laughed. The ocean stretched out blue and endless in front of us. The captain's voice came over the speakers. "Welcome aboard the holiday spirit. We hope you have a wonderful Christmas cruise." Everything felt perfect. We spent the afternoon by the pool. The kids swam while Sarah and I sat in the sun. Around 5 p.m., we went back to the cabin to change for dinner. That's when I noticed it. The stockings were back on our door. The same ones from this morning. Still full. "Did you rehang these?" I asked Sarah. She looked confused. "No, the staff must have brought new ones." But when I opened them, they had the same candy inside, the same small toys, even the same little tears in the tissue paper from when Lily had opened hers that morning. "Weird," Sarah said. "Maybe they recycle them?" At dinner, the waiter brought out our food. Turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing. A full Christmas dinner. "Didn't we already eat this?" Jake asked. "No, honey, that was breakfast," Sarah said. But Jake was right. I remembered this meal. The same turkey, the same waiter who told us his name was Paul. He'd already told us that, hadn't he? This morning? I shook my head. The long travel day must have been messing with my memory. That night I couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong, but I couldn't explain it. Around 2 a.m. I got up and looked out our cabin window. The ocean was completely still. Not a single wave. Like glass, like we weren't moving at all. I must have fallen asleep eventually because the next thing I knew, Sarah was shaking me awake. "Merry Christmas," she said. My blood went cold. "What?" "Merry Christmas, sleepyhead. The kids are already up." I looked at my phone. December 25th, 7:23 a.m. But it had been December 25th yesterday. We'd already done Christmas. I ran to the door. The stockings were there again. Full again. Untouched. "Sarah, what day is it?" "Christmas Day. Are you feeling okay?" At breakfast, everything was exactly the same. The snowman pancakes, the hot chocolate, Jake complaining about the crowd, Sarah holding my hand. "This was a good idea," she said. The same words, the exact same words. At noon, we watched the ship leave port again. The same people waving on the dock, the horn blowing 3 times, Lily covering her ears. "Welcome aboard the Holiday Spirit," the captain said. "We hope you have a wonderful Christmas cruise." "This already happened," I said out loud. Sarah looked at me. "What already happened?" "This, like all of this. We already did Christmas. Yesterday was Christmas." "Honey, today is Christmas. You're scaring me." I spent that whole day trying to prove it to them, but they didn't remember. They thought I was sick, having a breakdown. Sarah wanted to take me to the ship's doctor. That night I stayed awake. I watched my phone. At exactly midnight, the date didn't change. It stayed December 25th, and at 2 a.m., I felt it, a weird shift, like the world hiccuped. Then I fell asleep, even though I was fighting it. When I woke up, it was Christmas morning again. This time I paid attention. I started counting passengers at breakfast. There were 43 people in the buffet area. I wrote it down. The next loop, because I knew now it was a loop, I counted again. Only 38 people. The loop after that, 31 people. People were disappearing, and nobody noticed except me. I tried to find the same passengers each loop. There was an old man who always sat by the window. Then one loop, he was gone. A family with twin girls who wore matching red dresses. Gone the next loop. Sarah, Lily, and Jake never remembered. Every morning they woke up thinking it was Christmas for the first time. Every morning I had to pretend everything was normal while I watched the ship empty out around us. By the 10th loop, I started looking for others. Someone else who remembered. I stopped random passengers. "Do you remember yesterday?" I'd ask. They'd look at me like I was crazy. "Today's Christmas Day," they'd say. Always the same answer. On the 13th loop, I only counted 12 passengers at breakfast. The ship felt empty. Our footsteps echoed in the hallways, but Sarah and the kids didn't notice. That's when I realized I was going to be alone. Eventually, it would just be me. Everyone else would disappear, loop after loop, until I was the only one left on this ship, living Christmas Day forever. On the 15th loop, I broke. At noon, when the ship was supposed to leave port, I ran to the railing on deck 10. I looked down at the dock. There was nobody there. No people waving goodbye. Just an empty dock. But the captain's voice still came over the speakers. "Welcome aboard the Holiday Spirit." I ran to find my family. They were by the pool, like always. But when I got close, I stopped. Something was wrong with their faces. They looked right, but also wrong. Like copies that weren't quite perfect. Sarah's smile was too wide. Lily's eyes didn't blink as much as they should. Jake's movements were stiff like a puppet. "Dad," Lily called, "come swim with us." Her voice sounded normal, but her face didn't move right when she talked. I backed away. "You're not real." "Michael?" Sarah stood up. Her head tilted at a weird angle. "Are you okay?" I ran. I didn't know where I was going. I just ran through the empty ship. Most cabins had their doors open now, empty rooms, made beds, no luggage, no people. I found the crew areas. The kitchens were empty, the engine room was empty. Nobody was driving this ship. Nobody had ever been driving it. I made it to the bridge. The captain's chair was empty, but there was a microphone, and it was on. On the wall, I saw a plaque. "The Holiday Spirit lost at sea. December 25th, 2019. All passengers and crew, in memory of the 847 souls aboard. 2019, 4 years ago." I don't know what loop I'm on anymore. I stopped counting after 20. Each loop, there are fewer passengers. The ship feels bigger, emptier, colder. Sarah and the kids are still here, but they're not right. Sometimes Sarah's voice comes out of Lily's mouth. Sometimes Jake will say something my father used to say, even though Jake never met him. I tried to jump off the ship once, to escape. But I woke up on Christmas morning in my cabin, the stockings hanging on the door. I can't leave. None of us can leave. Last loop, or maybe it was 2 loops ago, I found something in our cabin, a newspaper tucked under the bed. December 24th, 2019. The headline said, "Holiday Spirit Cruise Ship Vanishes, Search Underway." Below that, a passenger list. I found our names. Michael Warren, 35. Sarah Warren, 33. Lily Warren, 8. Jake Warren, 12. But that's impossible. We're alive. We're here, aren't we? Sometimes, late at night, I remember things differently. I remember the ship tilting, water rushing into the halls, screaming, Lily crying for me, the ocean so cold it burned. Then Christmas morning comes again, and I forget. The other passengers who disappeared, maybe they remembered too. Maybe they found a way out. Or maybe they just faded away loop after loop until there was nothing left. I'm starting to fade too. Some loops, I forget my son's name for a few minutes. Some loops, I can't remember what my father looked like. If you're reading this somehow, if this message gets out, don't take a Christmas cruise. Don't board the Holiday Spirit. We're still here. We'll always be here. Living December 25th forever. In every loop, I become a little less real. Merry Christmas. I will never set foot on a cruise ship again. And if you knew what I found below Deck 1, you wouldn't either. My name is Emma Rodriguez. I'm 28, and I'd booked the cheapest cabin I could find on the Ocean Star for my birthday trip. After a bad breakup, I just wanted to get away somewhere affordable, and a $300 5-day cruise seemed perfect. My friends warned me about inside cabins with no windows, but I told them I'd barely be in the room anyway. The first day was fine. My cabin was small, just a bed, a tiny bathroom, and a closet, but it was clean. Cabin D147, Deck 4. The hallway outside had red carpet and white walls, and I could hear other passengers rolling their suitcases past my door. I spent most of that first day exploring the ship. The pools, the buffet, the little casino. Everything felt exciting and new. By 11 p.m., I was exhausted from traveling. I fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. When I woke up for breakfast, something felt different. I couldn't explain it. Just a weird feeling in my stomach, like when you miss a step going downstairs. The hallway looked the same, but wrong somehow. The red carpet was there, the white walls, the same doors. But the lights seemed dimmer, more yellow than white. I shook it off. I was tired, probably just imagining things. But at dinner that night, I met another passenger named Claire at my table. Sweet older lady, maybe 65. We talked about our cabins, comparing how small they were. I'm in D147, I told her. She looked confused. That's strange. I'm in D146, right next door to D148. There's no D147 between them. No, I'm definitely in 147, I said, laughing. I checked my key card this morning. But when I pulled out my card to show her, my stomach dropped. The number had changed. It now said D247. See? 247, Claire said, smiling. You're on deck 2, honey. 1 deck below me. But I wasn't. I knew I wasn't. My room was on deck 4. I'd walked up the stairs from deck 3 yesterday. I was sure of it. After dinner, I went back to check. I took the elevator and pressed 4. When the doors opened, I walked to where my cabin should be. But the number on the door said D247. Different number, same room. My key card still worked. Inside, everything was exactly the same. My suitcase was on the bed where I'd left it. My toiletries in the bathroom. But something was different. The air felt heavier, colder. And there was a smell, very faint, like old water that had been sitting too long. I checked the hallway again. The sign on the wall said Deck 2, but I'd pressed 4 in the elevator. I was sure I had. The next morning, I woke up and immediately checked. My key card now said D347. The hallway sign said Deck 3. My room had moved again, or I had moved. I didn't know which was worse. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in my cabin with the lights on, staring at my key card, waiting. Around 3 a.m., I felt it. The room seemed to shift. Not violently, just a slight sensation of downward movement, like being in a very slow elevator. My ears popped. The lights flickered once. I grabbed my key card. Right before my eyes, the number changed. The 3 became a 4, then the 4 became a 5. 547. I threw open my door. The hallway was different now. The carpet was darker, almost brown. The lights were even dimmer, and it was cold. My breath came out in little clouds. The sign on the wall said Deck 5, but I'd looked at the ship's map. The Ocean Star only had 12 decks, and passenger cabins only went down to Deck 2. There was no Deck 5 for passengers. That's where the crew areas were supposed to be, storage, machines. I ran to the elevator and pressed the button. Nothing happened. I pressed it again and again. The button wouldn't light up. Behind me, I heard a door open. I spun around. Down the hall, a cabin door stood open. The room beyond was dark, and I could hear water, not dripping, flowing, like a stream running through the room. I looked for the stairs. There had to be stairs. I found the door marked stairwell and pushed through. The stairs went up like normal, but they also went down, and down, and down. I looked over the railing and couldn't see the bottom, just stairs disappearing into darkness. I started climbing up. My legs burned after 2 flights, 3 flights, 4. But every landing I passed said the same thing. Deck 5. I kept climbing. 5 more flights, 6. My lungs were screaming, but every landing still said Deck 5. That's when I heard it below me. Footsteps, wet footsteps, slapping against the stairs, coming up toward me fast. I didn't look back. I just climbed. My hands grabbed the railing and pulled me up, step after step. The footsteps got closer. I could hear breathing now, heavy and gurgling, like someone with water in their lungs. Then I saw it. A different sign. Deck 4. I threw myself through the door and into the hallway. Normal lights, clean carpet, warm air. I could hear people talking in their cabins, TVs playing. I ran to the elevator and pressed the button. This time it worked. When the doors opened, I got in and pressed lobby. I wrote it up and didn't look back. I spent the rest of the cruise sleeping in the 24-hour buffet area. I told the staff I was sick and needed to be near food. They thought I was weird but didn't stop me. On the last day, I went back to get my suitcase. The cabin number had returned to D147, Deck 4. Everything looked normal, but my suitcase was damp. Not soaked, just damp. And it smelled like seawater. I looked up the Ocean Star after I got home. The ship was 40 years old. In 1998, there was an accident. Part of Deck 5 flooded during a storm. 6 crew members drowned in their cabins before they could be rescued. The company sealed off that entire deck, just closed it up. Built a new Deck 5 above it for crew quarters. But the old Deck 5 is still down there, still flooded. The cabin's still full of water. I don't know what I heard in those stairs. I don't know why my room kept sinking. But sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. and my ears pop. And for just a second, I smell seawater. And I wonder if I'd kept sinking, where would I have ended up? How far down does that ship really go?